Sports time now, and we head over to the sports studio and say good evening to Anne-Marie Burke.
Well, good evening to you, Shane. The International Olympic Committee has been forced to backtrack after irritating the Japanese government and Tokyo 2020 organizing committee by suggesting Prime Minister Shinzo Abe had agreed to cover additional costs following the postponement of the Olympic Games. In a question and answer style statement on its website, the IOC said Prime Minister Abe had agreed that Japan will continue to cover the costs it would have done under the terms of the existing agreement for 2020, and the IOC will continue to be responsible for a share of the cost. While Japan is obligated to cover added costs in the host city contract for the 2020 Olympics and Paralympics it signed with the IOC back in 2013, the statement prompted Chief Cabinet Secretary Yoshihide Suga to deny any agreement had been reached. The IOC has since deleted the statement, which has sparked an open conflict with organizers. A Tokyo 2020 spokesperson says organizers had asked the IOC to remove the comment, telling a teleconference involving Japanese media that it was not appropriate for the Prime Minister's name to be quoted in this manner. Now, with all major sporting events the world over, including the Summer Olympics being postponed, CBC Sean Green spoke with Barbadian Crystal Emmanuel, who competes for Canada, about her plans going forward.
Tokyo, Japan would have been her third Olympics, but Emmanuel, who visited Barbados earlier this year to facilitate her warm weather training, falls into the high-risk category, but she intends to use the delay to give her more time to prepare.
I agree with the delay because I'm high risk, because I have asthma, so I'm here for it, and also our country wasn't sending anyone if it was later in the year, so it gives me an opportunity to perform at my third Olympics. So I'm grateful for the delay so that I can prepare.
Despite that, the 28-year-old has admitted that not being able to train as per usual is a disadvantage to all athletes.
Well, it affects my training a lot because we're currently not at the track and we can't get in the full workouts that we need to get ready for the Olympics. So I'm more inside doing home workouts, doing a lot of mental and physical training, more mental than anything else because we're inside.
The Canadian 200-meter record holder says that while training will be limited, the team will be looking beyond the lockdown to continue preparing for next year.
When the lockdown is over and we're cleared to go back outside, then me and my team would sit down and talk about what we're going to do to prepare for next year, because it's more about next year than this year, so we have to sharpen up and come up with a plan to be ready. And it starts from, I guess, this year, just being ready for when the lockdown is over.
Sean Green, CBC Sports.
For at least one athlete, the break in sports has given her the opportunity to refocus. Top local female boxer Kimberly Gittins, while lamenting at the break in international competition, on reflection has seen it as a call for her to slow down and put her developmental plans in check. Sometimes in the face of adversity or negativity, we can see the blessing in disguise. And for boxer Kimberly Gittins, the cancellation of the international boxing season in the wake of the global COVID-19 pandemic has allowed her to step back and take a hold of her quest to reach the Olympic Games.
I felt relieved because I was feeling a lot of pressure in relation to my preparation. I wasn't sure if I was preparing right at the point of time, as time draws near, you have a lot of doubts and wants, and that's when you try to remain focused and trust the process. Well, when my qualifiers was postponed at the moment, I was very happy because I felt like I needed more time to work on a lot of basics, a lot of flaws that I had. And that's how I took it, as an opportunity to come correct and give my administrators a little more time to manage my development plan.
Maintaining her training during this time has come with a challenge, as Giddens is enlisted in the Barbados Defense Force and is at this time on the front lines as an essential worker. But with her trainer and coaches still keeping her in check, she's doing her best under the circumstances.
It has been difficult. It has been hard because access has been limited. My trainer from Southside Mina Highland, she is still working with us. She has sent me an at-home workout in case that, I don't have access to equipment. I try to follow that. It limits me to one workout a day, but, realistically speaking, we're just trying to keep as fit as possible. We know, and everyone knows, the BOA knows, the Boxing Association knows that, yes, we're not training as we are competing for competition. So what we're trying to do now is, keep tracks on workouts and what's not. For me, I can't work out almost every day because of the other duties that I have to perform. But I try my best to at least do 30 minutes before I go to work or when I come home from work.
Many of the sports have rescheduled their competitions to later in the year and early next year. But in looking to the future, Giddens does have some skepticism as to just when she'll be ready to compete again. She says her health and safety does come first.
There's no guarantee when this thing is going to be clear, the safety of anybody to travel to compete. I'm not even sure if they host any games for the rest of the year that if I would even compete, because you're always obviously hearing the way it comes in 3 ways. It's going to probably take like a year and a half for it to disappear. So it's I have asthma. I don't want to die. Be at risk traveling overseas in the company market, because you honestly cannot plan for something that you don't know.
Partnership in horse racing, as the Royal St. Lucia Turf Club is hoping to forge strong ties with the Barbados Turf Club in the future. The assertion comes from their CEO, Ben Walden, who spoke with commentator Andy Thornhill.
We sent 2 horses over for your big race last month. We didn't run very well. In fact, one of them wasn't able to run in the big race, and the one that did, it wasn't his best day. But our goal is to be extremely reciprocal with the Barbados racing industry. And we do have some riders that come over and join us on race days. We look forward to that monthly and on each race day. They've ridden here, done a great job. I think they've enjoyed being here. We also have had Robert Pierce at a horse here, and John Chandler. And we brace the amount of water between the 2 islands is not as great as it could be. We look forward to, based on our proximity, to a very strong, long-lasting relationship with Barbados. And we look forward to coming there and trying to win that big race one day.
Headed by Chairman Lynn Marie Ford, the Barbados Pool Development Organization's Tournament Committee has settled a packed 2020 calendar for its players, with a number of tournaments scheduled right down to the end of the year. Actually, at the time of the curfew being called, the organization's first tournament was in full swing. But as we also hear from President of the BDPO, Andrew Springer, the organization is feeling it a bit more than just not being able to play games.
Our first tournament, which is the Team 8 Ball, was already in progress. This tournament comprises of 12 teams and was into the 4th round of matches. Because pool is an indoor sport, some venues may have up to 30 or 40 players present on a game day. Most of our venues are also air-conditioned, and members of the general public also have access. At the time of the suspension, we were negotiating with 2 companies to provide sponsorship for this year's events. It is now going to be more difficult to secure that sponsorship because almost all businesses have suffered financially. Because of the need for social distancing and the fact that bars and restaurants are closed, the pool players have no avenue to practice their sport. We will continue to be guided by the directions given by government officials and hopes that every one of our players get through this pandemic safely.